Yeah?
Hey. So, I was on YouTube, and I noticed that our history has a lot of DIY kitchen remodels.
Yeah?
Want to talk about something?
So, doing all the stuff with Molly Weasley and her gorgeous kitchen, and I've got kitchen envy. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean, this is a one-butt kitchen. You know, if you have to get by, I have to lean over the stove, it's not safe, and you can move the wall.
Yeah, we've been through this, Sohan. If we move the wall back, you lose your herb garden, and there's also the problem with the pitch of the roof needs to be redone then, or else we're going to have flooding just like the room of requirements used to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, there's just not one quick and easy spell that can do this, and it's kind of expensive. So sometimes magic just isn't the answer, huh?
Oh, blasphemy!
Really?
You take that no mage talk and you get out of my one-butt kitchen.
Fine, I will. Excuse me. Pardon me. Excuse me.
I asked for that.
Nope.
Hello, my witches and wizards. This is Professor Rowan. I'm coming to you today on this absolutely amazingly beautiful spring day to talk about the second part of this brilliant event, the Weasley Predicament brilliant event. This one will be focused on the burrows, specifically on Mrs. Weasley's lovely, beautiful multi-butt kitchen. The event is scheduled to run from April 19th through April 26th, both beginning and ending at 11 a.m. my local time. April 19th is also my father's birthday, so if you could put a happy birthday, Dadu, in the comments for him, I would really appreciate that. This event is going to feature specific port keys that you don't have to open if you are able to complete the bonus challenge. It also was giving you a free store pack with enough ingredients to brew your own tonic for trace detection and spell energy. There are also going to be Foundables boosted on the map and when using the tonic for trace detection. These Foundables all have something in common. I want you to guess what that will be. The Foundables are Acromantula eggs, the Quibbler, the Sorting Hat, the Howler, Quidditch fan Luna Lovegood, and a Beater. Do you know what they have in common yet? That's right, all of these Foundables are guarded by gnomes. So much like how Ron's job was to get the gnomes out of the garden, our job is going to be to get the gnomes out of these Foundables. Speaking of Foundables, there are brilliant Foundables that we are going to need to be talking about. And one of them actually is guarded by gnomes, which means that if you have any tasks that say collect something guarded by a gnome, you're also going to be able to collect the brilliant portion, the boosted brilliant for that. So that'll be actually helpful and rare for these events. So in the wilds, you will be finding the Weasley family clock and proprietor Fred Weasley. If you happen to go through the Portkey experience, you will be collecting the brilliant gnomes. However, if you're completing the bonus challenge, the challenge gives you the gnomes you need, so you don't need to necessarily walk the Portkeys. Going into fortresses using a brilliant runestone will give you Mrs. Weasley, the mom and matriarch of the Weasley clan. And completing Quest 4 will give you a brilliant self-knitting jumper, which is one of the spells I've never been able to really get. I can do sewing machines, but self-knitting, I think it's the fact that I don't know how to knit in real life personally, so I can't make my spells do it. I really should talk to my charms professor friends about that, get into the theory, but that's for another time, I suppose. This event is also coming with a to-do list, and you know how I love a good to-do list. So let's get started with Quest 1. Quest 1 has you picking stuff up off of the map 3 times. Port keys, spell energy, ingredients, what have you, 3 times something up off of the map. That will get you 6 Abraxian hair. You also need to return 12 of the Weasley family clock. So they should be out in the wild, and they should be boosted when you're using a tonic for trace detection, should you, decide to use that. Just make sure that you're not going into the registry before it asks you to do so. Those Weasley clocks will give you 1 wit sharpening potion. Finally, you need to do something that will probably slow you down at least a scotch. You need to cast 2 Master's Notes. So whatever potion you have bubbling away at the moment that the event starts, a Master's Note for that, and then Master's Note on the next potion that you have available. Might I suggest having a potion brewing that's almost done when the event starts, so you can Master's Notes right away, and then Master's Notes on the potion that now becomes available because you used the Master Note. But if not, it should, if you're using quick brew time potions like a basic Stimula potion, it should, be fairly quickly to get through. Those Master's Notes will get you 2 Re'em Blood. Finishing the entirety of Quest 1 gives you 550 Wizarding XP, 50 Brilliant Family XP, 2 Restricted Section books, and 10 Spell Energy. Moving on to Quest 2 has the Collect Runestones requirement, so we don't have to stay out of the registry very long. However, you need to collect 6 Brilliant Runestones, which is more than usually. You usually get 5 that you're required. So it may mean a little bit of grinding for Brilliant Foundables, even after you've collected the Runestones from the 50 XP and the Family XP that you got from collecting all of those clocks. That will get you 5 Bitterroot. You also need to return 20 Foundables that are guarded by gnomes. Now remember, the Weasley family clock is guarded by gnomes, so that could potentially, if you're needing the family XP, be feeding 2 birds with 1 scone. Those 20 Foundables will give you 3 Leaping Toadstools. Finally, you have to cast 2 Great Spells. It doesn't have to be in order, and it doesn't have to be any particular spell, but 2 of them. That will get you 2 Stimula potions. Completing Quest 2 will get you 750 Wizarding XP, 75 Brilliant Family XP, 3 Restricted Section books, and more Spell Energy. Quest 3 is going to slow you down a bit, but it is also pretty straightforward. For example, you need to brew 7 potions. You can have 4 waiting for you, in theory, once you get to this part, and then you just have to brew a few more. Again, I'm strongly encouraging you to use those Master's Notes and stick to quick brew potions. That will get you 1 Silver Key. You also need to defeat 15 foes in Wizarding Challenges. I've recently started doing where I go into Runes 1, just myself, and I cast my hex on things and I just let them kill themselves. It's a way to grind myself some basic books that I need in order to get those pages to gold, and I don't have to waste spell energy that way. But 15 foes in Wizarding Challenges will give you 6 Snowdrop. Finally, you have to return 12 of the Proprietor Fred Weasley. Just Fred. I know both Fred and George are going to be on the map, but just Fred for these. Returning 12 Freds will give you 2 strong Stimula potions. So it has you in your cauldron, it has you in the fortresses, it has you hunting things on the map. You're all over the place for Quest 3, but the rewards for Quest 3 are 1,250 Wizarding XP, 75 Brilliant Family XP, 5 Restricted Section books, and more Spell Energy. Now on to Quest 4, which has a little bit of, First off, you need to earn 7,000 Wizarding XP from Wizarding Challenges, which means that you would be wanting to use your Brilliant Runestone, either in these or in the previous part where you had to collect those 15 foes. In order to get your Molly Weasley to place her image, and you can place her image at any time. There's no place image quests or tasks in these quests. But that Wizarding Challenge XP will give you 1 spellbook. You also need to collect 15 Mysterious Note Fragments from Brilliant Foundables. Any Brilliant Foundable, it's not just the ones that are in the wild for this week, it's also the ones that are going to be on the map that were also from the first part. Those note pieces will also give you another spellbook. Finally, the fun part, you have to cast Flippiendo. That one. Masterfully. Twice. Thankfully, Flippiendo is the spell that you cast when you are getting rid of gnomes about half the time. Not all of them. Some of them are also a biblio, but a lot of the boosted ones on the map use Flippiendo, so that should, in theory, be helpful. If you toss down a tonic for trace detection to make sure that you're getting all of the brilliant foundables that you need, and, casting all the Flippiendo you can during that, hopefully, in theory, just by casting the spell an awful lot, you will eventually get 2 Masterful. Those Masterful spell casts give you your last spellbook. Completing Quest 4 gives you 5 Restricted Section books, 5 Defense Against the Dark Arts books, 50 gold, the Self-Knitting Jumper, and Spell Energy. Now on to the bonus quest. It's going to take a little bit of time, so if you are intending to do the bonus quest instead of walking the port keys, make sure you give yourself a day to be able to get this done in time. I mean, in theory, you could get it done if you really dedicated some time and used a lot of potions, but regardless. First off, you need to defeat 15 formidable foes in wizarding challenges. Those are the guys with the 2 stars. That will give you 1 potent stimulo potion. You need to earn 12,500 wizarding XP, which isn't actually as bad as it sounds, especially if you can remember to open your gifts. Though I'm not the best at it. But if you can remember to open your gifts, that will help. That will get you a spell book. You need to return 45 of the brilliant Foundables. Doesn't matter which ones on the map, this week's or the previous week's, but 45 of them. That will get you 10 spell energy. You also need to return 35 Foundables that are guarded by gnomes. Since one of your brilliants is guarded by gnomes, those should count for each other. Kicking the gnomes will get you a Barufio's Brain Elixir. And finally, you need to use 15 potions. Doesn't matter which potion, doesn't matter where you use it, but 15. If I do this early enough, I'll probably get it done just with my daily allotment of potion uses, because I use a lot of stimulo potions, especially on the red Foundables. Or if I'm finding an adversary. Oh yeah, if I find an adversary, I'll get through those 15 real quick. That will get you 1 silver key. Completing the bonus challenge gives you 2,000 wizarding XP, 100 brilliant family XP, 5 Defense Against the Dark Arts books, a brilliant title, all of the brilliant gnomes you need to place the image, and more spell energy. And now some tips and tricks in order to get through this as quickly and easily as possible. There's no task that requires you to place an image, so you can place them at any time. They're giving you Brain Elixir, so by all means use it, especially on the ones where you have to collect an excessive amount of XP. A tonic for trace detection will really help you out here, several of them in fact, to get all of the Foundables you need. In order to get through the bonus challenge, you are going to be collecting a lot of Foundables. Using a tonic will also help you with getting that Masterful Flippiendo, simply because, it's a game of numbers. You do enough Flippiendos, you'll hopefully, in theory, be able to get a couple Masterfuls. In order to get through the brewing potions section, I suggest, if I haven't already suggested this before, to make sure that you're spending some of your SOS training on reducing the brew time of potions. I've put a lot of my SOS training into potions because I'm a potions professor. Reduced brew time on the potions, increased strength of the potions, like the tonic for bringing you more Foundables when you use it, or the stimulo potions, getting an extra use of each one. There's a lot of good stuff in there for potions, so, take a look. What about you? Do you have any tips or tricks on how to get through this event quickly? Please leave them in the comments below, as well as a happy birthday to my dadu. If these videos are helpful for you, please like, subscribe, share. It really does help us out. Thank you also to our patrons, because you guys help make all of this crazy possible. And if you'd like to support our channel but are not willing to become a patron, totally get that. You can also buy us a coffee, or a hot chocolate, or a nice iced tea for these glorious spring days. That link is in the description below. So my witches and wizards, enjoy this nice, relatively straightforward event. A lot of grinding, but not necessarily a high difficulty, except for potentially those masterful casts. But please remember to enjoy this, but stay safe. So keep your eyes peeled, your ears open, and your wands ready.
Excuse me. I forgot my phone.